You're terrified to speak Chinese because you think you sound terrible. But here's the truth. Your Chinese sounds way better than you think it does. I've taught thousands of Mandarin learners, and almost all of them dramatically underestimate how comprehensible they actually are to native speakers. Let me explain what's really happening here. So when you speak Chinese, you are hyper aware of every tiny mistake, every tone that's slightly off, every grammar error, every hesitation. But native speakers aren't judging you nearly as harshly. In fact, Chinese people are incredibly forgiving listeners. They're actively working to understand you, filling in the gaps and mentally correcting your tones. They're not sitting there thinking, wow, this foreigner's tones are terrible. They're actually thinking, wow, this person's actually trying to speak my language. Here's a real life example. One of our members refused to speak for months because he thought his tones were embarrassing. But when he actually had a conversation with a Chinese friend, she understood 90% of what he said and was genuinely impressed. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to keep practicing and using the most effective speaking practice techniques possible. But your perfectionism is actually the biggest barrier to your progress. Every time you avoid speaking because you're afraid of making mistakes, you're missing a critical opportunity to improve. The truth is, you don't need perfect Chinese to communicate effectively. You just need to reach the good enough threshold where people can understand your meaning. After that, your speaking will naturally improve through practice. So stop waiting until your Chinese is perfect to start speaking. Your Chinese already sounds way better than you think, and the only way to make it even better is to use it.